Hey guys, welcome back. I'm going to do the second part.
Salut tout le monde.
Of the haircut of Ludovic.
Hello guys.
This is the first model we did.
We are back.
On the sides we have the short shape.
Model of Ludovic.
In the back we have a nice
I will show you the first cut
glue
before showing
on
you
top to the shape neck.
As you can see.
And on the sides we have this graphic line.
Don't hesitate to put comments and ask your questions.
Beetje de eerste sessie. Stel je gerust op deze sessie. Als je die vragen
Hey joh.
stellen, geef ik die door aan Ludovic en krijg je uw antwoord ja mee.
When you have questions, you can ask so we can answer them. So,
Pour ceux qui nous rejoignent, bienvenue. For the new joiners, welcome. Don't hesitate to ask your questions. It's very good. As you can see,
hi
it's
Karin
the first
Verkammen.
cut.
Dus
Before showing you more,
als je vragen hebt, stel ze gerust.
we are soon back with
Geef
another
het
model.
door aan Ludovic.
But here's the first.
Dit was de eerste sessie. Kunt je ook terugvinden op
First model of the first session. Going to get over to the second model.
Dus
Pour ceux qui nous rejoignent,
gaan we dan
voici le
dadelijk
premier
door
modèle
naar het tweede model.
qui a été réalisé
Als er
durant
ook vragen
notre
zijn
première
tijdens
vidéo.
die tweede sessie.
If there are any
Grâce à la
questions,
deuxième vidéo,
you
notre
can ask
deuxième
them
modèle arrive.
so we can answer
Et
them.
voilà un petit tour.
Okay, let's go to the
Okay, here we go to the new haircut
Stéphane, dis bonjour à la vidéo activation.
with Ludovic. Hello Fabian Margioli.
Hello. Good morning, everybody. Hello. So we go now to the next haircut. Very happy with the first one. I hope you like it. So this haircut will be a little bit more layered. We start from a dry basis, and we prepared the hair with the no blow dry for fine hair. This is actually a prototype of the product. When it's finished, it will come in a beautiful color, of course. The no blow dry is a new product. It's created for people who don't like to blow dry, but it does more, because when I did it on this hair, it avoids that the hair will become static. So next to the fact that it's great for no blow drying, you can also use it as an advantage when you cut hair on dry, so that it doesn't jump on every side.
Hello Dani, welcome.
Hi Danny.
Christine
Zo.
Gregor kijkt ook mee, Ludovic.
Hi Christine. So actually what we will do, we take away some of this length to make it a little bit more disconnected with the back, but in contrast with the previous shape, we will make it more softer. And we will start here in the back, so we make a separation from ear to ear around the head. And in this case, I've got a completely new approach, because just imagine if we are doing a fashion show, she's in the backstage and she is asking for a nice haircut without blow drying, just, you know, the editorial feeling of it.
Hi Damien
Hello
Desert.
kids. Welcome.
So, hi. So we take, yeah. So we will take a section from
Donc pour les francophones, voici notre
occipital
deuxième
bone.
modèle. On démarre
And we make a little bit of a
le
convex
cheveu
shape.
un petit peu plus long. On va réaliser une coupe plus commerciale.
We have some new Redken artists for the future here in the room. So if you want to turn around and just introduce them, they are great people. They will educate you in the future. They will come to your salons. They will be on stage at the European Symposium.
Donc ici on vous présente les nouveaux jeunes artistes
People from Holland and
de la Young
Belgium,
Team,
united.
les artistes de Hollande et de Belgique. C'est vos futurs éducateurs.
Alright, so we will start in the back, and I will use my 6.8 Curvo scissors, which allows me to go really deep in the texture. So I want to do some channel cutting on it, and channel cutting means that I take away the weight of it, but keep my length. So
Donc
take a
ici,
very
Ludovic
big
va
section.
faire du channel cutting avec son 3.5.
Hey Famke. Welcome.
Now we will make channels, and
pour garder
every
beaucoup
time
de
when I
douceur,
go out of the hair, I will close my scissor. So always close it when you go out. So in this way you avoid to take away too much hair. So actually what's
Ici, on
happening
protège
now,
évidemment beaucoup la chevelure.
this part will be heavier, this part will be very soft.
Et la partie du dessous sera beaucoup plus allégée. par rapport à la
Always
partie du dessus.
redo this, the same motion.
Welkom.
Hi Sophie. So
Hello,
go.
Cheyenne.
So always do the same motion. So you can see that I close my scissor when I go out.
Ask your questions.
Yes, sure. Now look, when I take my hair up, already starting to see some texture in it. So I continue this.
Donc, on continue de cette manière.
So this is the first time Redken is doing a live haircut demonstration on Facebook. And this is a very good thing because Redken understands the future of education, which will be more online instead of going to the academies. Of course, when you want to go a little bit more deeper into cutting
Hi,
techniques
Paula.
and you want to do it on your own, you still have to visit us. But I can tell you, I drove like 2.5 hours this morning. It was so much traffic. So when you are in your sofa, drinking some wine, looking at us cutting, it feels more comfortable, isn't it?
If you guys have any questions, please ask.
C'est notre première session, live session. Donc n'hésitez pas à poser vos questions. Hello Séverine.
Hi Severin.
Als er vragen zijn, stel ze gerust.
We have Severine online. She is also working with Redken
Thanks, Fono.
at Academy 314, very good academy in Belgium. And XAZ. And that's the beautiful thing about Redken, you know, it's always artist supporting artist, which is great and gives a lot of possibilities to grow and to spread the word, of course.
Merci
So-
Sandra. Thank you Sandra.
You can see what's happening here.
Hello Frédéric.
So this part stays low and the other part is staying like getting more volume on it. So that's great. Now the next thing we will do is we take
On
from
va
the middle,
passer à la texturisation.
first
On
section,
garde beaucoup de volume sur le dessus et le dessous de la chevelure
take it up.
plutôt allégé.
lifting it. Now we will cut some length of it. And you see, because I'm using the 6.8 scissor, it allows me to go very deep in the hair.
Hello, Fabian.
Il utilise le ciseau 6.8.
Bonjour Fabio. So take this
Hello
section
Nathalie.
and take always to the previous.
On contre-dirige la mèche sur la première.
So you can see how soft it becomes. And this is an advantage by cutting dry hair. Because I'm cutting it dry, it allows me to spread the hair really wide. So I can see completely into the texture and get a very soft motion to it.
On voit pour les francophones que Ludovic explique que c'est très agréable et plus facile de voir exactement où on texturise quand on le fait sur cheveux secs.
Mais tu parles très bien français hein, et très sexy. Hein?
Merci
Et voilà,
Ludovic.
yeah. Maybe you have to show her because she looks good. It's a joke, huh? You know. You look good, but. So last week I did a class in New York, Design Mastery, together with George Joa and Teresa Muckler. We had a great time. So actually what I'm doing now is a repeat of the things we did in New York at the exchange. So if you are from America and you wanna see some more, just subscribe to the exchange, and that will allow you to see these techniques closer and to try them by yourself.
Hello Joanne, qui nous a rejoint également.
In January I will be at the symposium in Las Vegas. We will show you city beats around the world. It's a class with Giamma from Italy, Giamma Manaresi. We have Nicolas from France, the first time at the Redken Symposium, so I really welcome Nicolas. Next to that we
Hi,
have
Simone.
Veronica from Los Angeles. She's an amazing color artist. I love working with her. I worked with her together the first time in New York now, and I must say her taste level is very high, so you have to join the class to witness the beautiful techniques of her. So you can see now what's happening. So these parts are very soft, very transparent, and it always seems like it's one length. So we call this technique in the end invisible layers.
Donc cette technique est appelée ligne invisible, puisque vous voyez comme les mèches du dessus sont toutes en légèreté et en transparence sur le dessous.
So now we take the next.
Damien
Section
says yes,
suivante.
le boss.
Well, I'm not the boss at home, Damien. Really. So always you see that motion. When you go out, you close the scissor. Never close it when you go in because you will cut away too much. So be sure that you make a soft motion, that you follow the natural fall of the hair, which is very important.
Texturisation, toujours fermer la lame en sortant.
And always start again, because when you keep cutting at the same place, you will take away again too much hair. So now what's happening, you can see that it still looks like one length, but when I take it up, it becomes more volume around the occipital bone area.
Uniquement quand on les prend au doigt. Bonjour Sarah.
So again, we start at the same height. So very important is where you place the comb, because everything that stays on top of your comb will stay heavy. Everything below the comb will be more transparent and will be softer. So actually what I'm doing is creating volume and taking away the volume.
Donc en fait, grâce à cette technique, il crée du volume sur le dessus de la tête.
And you can feel it because it moves really beautiful.
Et on voit toute la douceur de la texturisation.
And this shape is a little bit based on the image of Sushi and the Banshees, a very old rock group. Tells something about my age. Anyway, it is what it is.
Antonio Garcia is ook aan het kijken, Ludovic.
Okay, hi Antonia.
Hello,
Antonio.
Zé.
Is it Antonio from Italy?
No,
Yeah.
from Spain.
From Spain. Ah, español, eh? Vamos a la playa. Yeah. But not with Antonio. Okay, so we keep taking away these layers, and you can see how beautiful this movement is going.
Là, on commence
So you
à bien
see the
voir le mouvement,
transparent
la
layers.
légèreté,
So again,
la
I will
transparence des
start in the middle by taking this section, and compared to the other one, it looks less technical, but it isn't, because the technique is especially inside of the shape. So it's not like in the previous cut where we created a very strong parameter and a very strong outline. In this case, things are happening on the inside of the shape.
Donc ici, tout se passe vraiment à l'intérieur de la forme pour la douceur.
So go very deep, and we don't have to connect it completely to the lower parts. You can see that there is a difference in length, but because we go very deep, we do the deep point cutting technique, it looks like it's connected. And in the other shape, I was cutting more blunt, and I used my shorter curvo scissors. In this shape, you can see why I'm using the longer one, because it allows me to be very elegant with the motion of the haircut.
Là, Ludovic explique que dans la coupe précédente, il a utilisé des ciseaux plus courts pour créer des différences et des lignes plus fortes. Ici, on est plus dans la douceur, on travaille à l'intérieur de la forme. C'est pour ça qu'il utilise les longues lames.
So together today also Redken Holland is in the house, and Sandrine, the education manager, she's here. Is she sitting in the back? Oh, you can show her. Hi.
Hi, Sandrine.
And you know, like the same as we were in the US, in Holland they have really amazing educators. We've got Peter and Berthe Zeeuw, and Berthe Zeeuw, you know, he became a friend of me in Vegas. I really respect his style, and you have to see him. So whenever you have the chance, just book your ticket to Holland and go to see Berthe Zeeuw.
Si vous avez la chance d'aller en Hollande et de réserver un petit ticket pour aller voir Berthe de Zeeuw, Ludovic vous le conseille.
Hey Olivier.
Sandrine, you have to pay me for that. Okay, so we finished the back. Maybe I will go back later when I see the complete shape. But next what we will do, we will make a triangular section at the round of the head. So that means when you take your two hands flat, this is the round of the head. So this is the place where I take my sections.
Er is een vraag.
Yes, question?
Wendy Maas vraagt, knip je deze snit altijd op droog haar om het volume-effect en textuur het best te zien? Of kan het ook op nat haar?
Hi Wendy, great question, thank you very much. I respond to that in English. So the question is if I always cut it on dry hair to see the texture, or do I also cut it on wet hair? Yes, you can do both, it's no problem. The difference is, of course, you have more visibility on dry hair. It looks easier, it looks more under control. But when you do it on wet hair, it's still good. It gives a different feeling to it. And in the end, when you finish the hair, you still can do that on when you blow dry it, so it's okay. But to be honest, the feeling to cut on dry hair is really exciting, and it gives a beautiful variation in the salon.
Hey Marceline.
So what we will do now, we will start at the crown area and we lift the hair up 90 degrees. So now we will create the first length. I start to the side and I will cut really like in the natural fall direction. So we start in the back
Ensuite, le tendon naturel.
and we will create this length. So a little bit fine tuning like this. Okay. So now I will go to my next section and I will connect that. So what we will do now, we take it to the previous. So we will build up the length and start from the side and cut the length.
Kun je iets vertellen over de kleur, Ludwig?
Hello Lily.
Yes, we can. Though there is a question if we can explain something about the color. Now we have Sarah Lismont, the colorist, our house colorist, filming at the same moment. So, well, she's the best to explain the color, of course. So, Sarah, go ahead.
On this color, we did a little bit a warmer color. So we used 09G, but we wanted to have a little bit of a pearly look in it. So I did a little bit of 9V into the G, 9G. So that's why you have this beautiful shine on the hair.
I always tell Sarah, but this is a personal preference. There is only one color, it's the 09V. It's my favorite, especially on blonde hair. The Redken 09V is such a beautiful color because it gives the blonde so much richness and it makes it really beautiful, ashy. But of course, like the other ones are beautiful too, but it's a personal preference. So this is where we created this length. Well, the next step is actually to start every time again from this crown area and go with triangular sections down in the natural fall. And we connect them always to this same triangle that we did cut first.
Pour la couleur, ici on a joué avec un blanc chaud et du blanc froid pour créer les différentes nuances. Le 09V notamment, que Ludovic utilise beaucoup.
And I must say we have the new pH bounder, which allows us to go really beautiful blonde without damaging the hair, and it's an amazing product.
Hello Tom.
Is it Tom from Redken?
Yes.
Ah, Tom, hi, beautiful boy. Yeah, he's handsome.
Un petit like Tom.
So we take it up and we connect. Now I arrived at the back, so what I will do next is connecting the back lengths to this corner on the ear. So take it back and make a beautiful connection to it. And you can see how soft I'm doing my deep point cutting, because I really want to have almost the feeling that there is no layering at all. It has to feel very quietly. So what you will see now is that this is coming up. So we get this. Now it becomes a little bit more choppy and this goes more flat, which is what I want to achieve, because that reminds me on the mullet shape. So we repeat the same on the other side. And you can go a little bit asymmetrically, it's no problem, if you want.
Lily says, I love this program. Thank you, Jack Redken team.
Ah, great. Is it Lily Mayani?
Sudarmin.
Okay.
Hi, Reginald.
Thank you, Lily, for your comment.
He says, hi, Ludovic. It's
Ah.
going to be good.
Yeah, of course, you know, it's always very helpful when you have a beautiful girl sitting here, very open for a new haircut. Makes the work more or less easier. And also in this case, when I close my scissor, and this is maybe very interesting because what happens when you
Hello, Eugenie.
when you do deep point cutting, a lot of times you will cut in your fingers. It's because a lot of people, when they go in, they close it when they go in. But if you close it when you come out, you cannot touch your fingers. So this is maybe very helpful for you.
Fabien de France says something in French. Quelle chance d'avoir un si grand talent dans la team Redken. Merci Ludovic du
Ah,
partage.
Fabien, merci.
Hello,
Merci beaucoup.
Fabien.
Est-ce que tu viens à Vegas, Fabien?
Il répond.
No.
No, not yet.
T'es déjà parti?
So you can see that this is very short and we have still these lengths. So again, we start from the same corner and we go with triangular sections down and connect it to the top. But you see, when I go out, I close my scissors, so you avoid cutting in your fingers, which is, I think, very interesting.
Ah, he replies. Et non, pas de Vegas pour moi cette année.
Ah, maar aujourd'hui, tu as un petit peu de Vegas, voilà. Welcome. Thanks to Redken Belgium and Holland.
Merci Fabien pour tes commentaires.
Maybe I can come to France. Tell Friedrich. We had a great time. We did the tribute show this year together with Sassoon and Angelo Simonara. And Redken France, they organized a really cool after party next to the La Cigale. And yeah, we had a great time. And I must say the French people from Redken, they are really lovely people.
Hi, Peter.
So I feel blessed to be there and to know them.
Peter Brouwer.
Ah, Peter Brouwer. Oh, there he is, the famous Dutch educator. Oh, Peter, how are you? How is your 6.8 going? So, okay, now we arrive at the panel on top of the head. So it's almost like a horseshoe section, actually. But I think I'm going to change to the razor now. Yeah, it's time to go to the razor.
Maintenant, on va passer au rasoir.
Okay. So what we will do, we will take one by one sections, but always small triangular sections like this. And then just take the hair together with your fingers, because this can be a little bit more disconnected. So, and I work really flat, so that's helping me not to cut away too much from the first time and to make it very soft. So you can see what's happening. I create this beautiful disconnected shape. And I go to the next, and I work with triangular sections. So you don't have to connect by measuring, just connect it by looking at it and use the visual way of cutting it. Okay, we go again to a triangular one.
Hi, Niels.
Hello Damien, encore un petit commentaire en français. Ludovic, tu viens quand faire une formation pour la team Redken artiste en France?
Ah,
Super
ça c'est
bon,
bien.
They want you.
That's great, that's great. Et je parle un petit peu de français. Hein, et maintenant, ça stoppe. Mais enfin, hein. Ouais, une autre one, c'est j'aime la France. But I think it's going to be great to work with Nicolas because, you know, yesterday I had this photo shoot with Marco from Germany, and you know, we started with it last year, and because the different style and the different influence from that country, you can feel that in the collection, because once we start to make a fusion of that, it becomes very interesting. And I think it will be the same with Nicolas from France, because I saw his work and I really love it, and I really want to see how that melds together as a fusion.
Mais ils te veulent en France, hein? They want you in France.
Yeah, but okay, it's no problem, huh? We go.
Fabien dit que tu dois y aller.
Yeah, voilà.
Thank you, Elena Paulussen. She says knappig.
Thank you, Elena. And you can see
Philippe
how.
Bouve is also here. Hello, Philippe.
So we go to the other side now, and we actually make a really disconnected feel on top. So always work with the same panel on top. Use the triangular sections and the curved motion to it.
Nancy du Luxembourg est là aussi. Hello, Nancy.
Bonjour, Nancy. You know that I did a lot of driving with my motorcycle in Luxembourg, which is amazing. Beautiful, beautiful countryside.
Roads.
Yeah, the roads are amazing, huh? So we take the next section. And now it's becoming more and more interesting, because now you can start feeling the effect of the chopping on top. Question from the artist now?
It's looking great.
It's looking great. Wow, that's not a question, darling. That's a confirmation. But thank you, thank you. You're lovely.
The color is great. It's great.
Yeah, that's because it's Redken.
And because it's you.
Yeah. So it almost reminds me on a British rock star. It's a little bit of Deborah Harry feeling in it. Take the sides down.
Hi, Mandy.
Oh, Mandy, my love.
Bush.
Wie geht's? So many amazing artists. Mandy and Pietro from Germany are also Redken artists. And I can tell you, whenever I do a symposium and Pietro is close to me, I take him with the arms, because he's such an amazing hair cutter. He can do very beautiful shapes. So now you have already that vision from the shorter side and the longer back. So that gives that beautiful mullet kind of feeling to it. So again, we continue with the diagonal section.
On continue avec des sections diagonales.
And we take this to the front, and you can see how flat my razor is placed on top of the hair. And very important, because a lot of people ask me, don't you damage the hair with a razor? And I must say, when you don't use the right razor, yes, you will damage the hair. So that's why it's important to use 1 or 2 blades per client. And really, you don't want to work with a like if the razor is not sharp. I don't know how to say that, but anyway. So always use a very sharp razor blade. Now I'm working with the Casio, but you can also work with the Sanvia, which is also a very, very cool razor.
Pour ceux qui craignent d'abîmer les cheveux en utilisant le rasoir, ce n'est absolument pas le cas quand la lame est bien aiguisée et qu'on utilise le rasoir bien à plat.
Yeah. Just a little bit more definition to the fringe. I'm going to place my scissor beautiful inside of this, and I'm going to take away some of this weight. A little bit more disconnection in the fringe. So when you look from the sides, this gives a really cool and raw feeling to it. So to empower the complete shape, just gonna do some push cutting to it. So we lift these lengths and just with the point of the scissor push the hair down so that you create a little bit more disconnection to it, and it also helps you to give some volume to the hair. But always make sure that whenever you do the push cutting technique, and especially on bleached hair, that you do it really soft, because in any other case you will create marks, and you don't want to create marks after all the invisible layering.
Hi, Crystal.
So you continue, and we do this in the area on top of the head. So only the top of the head we will use the push cutting technique.
The likes keep coming, Ludovic.
Is it?
Everybody likes it.
Okay, that's great. So actually this is a very commercial haircut. It's easy accessible in the salon. And maybe we can ask the other model to come back once more, because there definitely is a similar feeling to these two haircuts. And this is also why I wanted to have two blonde models, just to show you how similar the shape is actually created, because in this model we also made the very short sides and then the longer front and the longer back. So it's very similar to the ones we are doing now.
Hello, Steven. Donc ici on voit la différence entre le premier modèle
So
et le
the
deuxième.
difference is that we created that short shape on wet hair, and that we actually are doing now the longer version on more dry hair. And you can see how beautiful this from short to long is going, and how beautiful the transparency is, because we used some deep point cutting to it. So that's the advantage that you get when you use this technique. But try to change your tools, you know, work on the shorter hair with the 5.5-inch scissors, and on the longer hair you change to 6.8, which allows you to go a lot deeper in it. You can see that. And always close it when you go out. That same motion. It's very important. You never cut your fingers anymore in this way. Okay, a little bit more layering in the back. This is the advantage when you look at it. When you're finished, you can still correct some of the movement to make it a little bit more transparent. Ah, you had some Daft Punk, Viola. Well, actually, the synthesizer guy, he was from Italy, so...
Hello, Gary.
Hi, Gary.
Gary Russell.
How are you, man?
Thank you.
We've got some very international people going on. Like Gary is an amazing artist from the UK. And Gary and Samvia and I, we closed the Redken Symposium in Barcelona. And we had an amazing time. We had really good shapes. And I must say I was impressed by the editorial approach of Gary. From all the long hair, which was beautiful, beautiful braiding. Gary, looking forward to see you in Vegas, man.
Yeah, me too.
Hello, Caroline.
You want to have a beer? You know that girl? She was also in our team in Vegas, one of the models. So to finish the hair, I will use a little bit of the Iron Shape 11. Because remember, this is bleached hair. We are going to use some heat, so that protects the hair by using the blow dryer.
Souvenez-vous que sur cheveux décolorés, toujours utiliser un protecteur, comme le nouveau pH Bonder. Et dans la texturisation, ici, on utilise l'Iron Shape.
So always remember, whenever you work, the One United is a very good cutting lotion. Then you can prepare the hair with a little bit of no blow dry. Even if it's no blow dry, you can still blow dry it. And then the Iron Shape is to protect the length when using the heat. very softly. Now, when I'm blow drying, I'm going to finish with the spray. So we will work with the control addict again. And just keep blow drying it. So the blow drying takes the texture really maximum out of the hair. So we will, you know,